Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my show, Learning from Life Experiences. And today I have with me a very dynamic personality, Major Niti CJ. She has served in the army in her first innings, and after completing that challenging assignment, she decided to hang up her uniform and then she went into her second innings. And now in the second innings also, she has established herself as a very prominent uh, mm, podcaster, and she is also doing talk shows, and she also has her own venture wherein she's encouraging people to write. So I will not steal her thunder. I will request Niti herself to tell us about her journey as to how she started each phase of her life and how did she transition from one phase to other. Welcome, Niti. Welcome to my show. And it
Thank you
is an
so much, sir.
amazing, it is an honor for me and for our audience to hear from you and learn about your own experiences, what you have done in your two innings till now. Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. And it is my honor and entirely a pleasure, sir, that I got this opportunity to interact with you. So, as you asked, sir, about my journey from how it started, where it started. Um, uh, my father was in the army, so
Oh,
the
okay.
inspiration always was there in the
So
house,
you're a second
and
generation or third generation?
uh, rather fourth, sir. I am
Fourth
the fourth
generation.
in the
Wow.
family. Yes, sir.
So the OG blood runs in your body.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, sir. बिल्कुल अब वो that has reached the DNA now, sir.
Okay. Wow.
It has penetrated the DNA now. So it has been the inspiration has always been at home, sir. And as a army kid, you get adequate exposure to weigh out that uh, is that lifestyle suitable for you. Would you like to uh, have the similar environment in your professional front also?
Yeah.
So that exposure is always available to us as an army kid, and I always wanted to be part of this. During my time, sir, there there was no serious entry initially, and I was in 8th standard when I had thought that I would join the army.
Oh,
It
okay.
started there. May, at that time, I used to always think I'll join as a doctor because that was the only option available to us.
Absolutely.
But yes, sir. So years later, then I came to know about the short women special entry scheme, which is an opportunity for women to join the forces in other branches also. As things passed by, sir, when I reached college, tables turned and the CDS entry was opened
Oh, okay.
for women candidate, and I gave the first CDS exam in 2007. By
Oh,
then, I had completed my graduation, and that's when I came to know about NCC entry, and I had taken
uh-huh.
up NCC in my college.
Oh,
यही सोच करके ना sir that I will be able to this
absolutely.
entry is available to me. If WSCS नहीं होता है, so at least
Oh,
I can go
NCC
for this
special
exam.
entry. Yeah.
हाँ जी sir. But then this new thing started, and we were very happy about it. And Chhattisgarh, as it is a place where people don't know much about army. So I said, this is my chance. And this is the only opportunity, and I should not miss it. So I gave my first CDS. I went for SSB. My parents, my father was, he confirmed quite a couple of times, do you really want to do this? Are you really sure about this?
Uh-huh.
Because he has seen the other front.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
he's like, क्यों वापस क्यों उस रगड़े में जाना है? Why you want to do all this? So that has been there. And he wanted me to pursue higher education also. He wanted that I should finish post graduation before I join any profession.
Okay.
He said, "Abhi jitni padhai karni hai kar lo. Later on, you will not get the opportunity."
Bilkul.
So And that's when I learned my lesson that always listen to your parents because I didn't clear in the first attempt, and then I had to take up post graduation.
Okay.
So that actually gave me that buffer time when I could channelize myself towards this. I can also shortlist what are the other options available to me, which I can explore. And I started preparing for my IAS also.
Okay. Oh.
फिर बीच में ओपन कैंपस वगैरह से होता था, तो वी यूज्ड टू गो इन दोस ओपन कैंपस एंड वहां सेलेक्ट हो जाते थे. दैट वाज नॉट एन इशू. That actually gave me a confidence.
Confidence.
It gave
Yes.
me that opportunity to have that exposure of an interview.
Yeah.
How to deal interviews. So that actually added to my efforts. And in 2008 I cleared my SSB, and 2009 I joined the academy, sir.
Okay. So
And
what subjects did you do your graduation and post graduation in?
Sir, I've done both in microbiology.
Oh,
and that has nothing to do with anywhere in the
wow. I
force.
know.
In fact, in academy, my DS and my instructors, they were like, you should go in ASC, you will do wonders there. I said, sir, maine kaise padhai ki hai, only I know how I've
I
studied.
know.
So I don't want to waste and I don't want to firstly put myself into an embarrassment that I don't know a word about it. It is just that I had to fulfill my educational requirements, and I've done that. So I did my post graduation. I completed my post graduation. In fact, last exam I had gone from the academy only.
Oh,
sir.
okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So it was like this.
So which year did you pass out from the academy, and which arm did you join?
Sir, I passed out in 2010, sir.
Okay.
And I joined military intelligence.
Oh.
10 years into the organization, and 2020 I took release.
Okay. So you took voluntary release. You did not opt for your permanent commission.
Permanent commission was still in dichotomy,
Okay.
sir, when we were filling the form.
Okay.
And then that decision, एक point आ गया था कि if you have to either it will be 4 more years, or and अगर if you don't get PC, then 4 years and your service is terminated. So I didn't want to take a decision based on a futuristic thing. Absolutely. Which we don't even know when it will turn out to be. And I decided that no, let's go this way. And 10 years was mandatory for us. It was not premature release. So that satisfaction was there.
Absolutely.
That आपने 10 साल अच्छे से नौकरी की, दिल लगा के, जी जान से नौकरी की, and you have enjoyed each aspect of it. Now it is time that you see the other side aspects of life.
Absolutely. So Neeti, so while you were in the army for those 10 years of your journey, how was it? How did it what kind of challenges did you face in your journey? Because I know being an intelligence corps officer has got a different role to play. So how did you?
Correct, sir.
How was your journey in those 10 years?
Sir, very extensive learning, I would say, and I never anticipated that as a very young officer only I will be bestowed with responsibilities that probably would be given to a major or an above in other arms. So that's where the nature of work in our branch, it is such a thing that you have to be independent. And when I say independent, it is more of a responsibility. Absolutely. Sir. Yeah. You have to be self-dependent. You have to be aware of the current affairs. You can't be just पता ही नहीं चल रहा दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है. So situational awareness, what we talk of, sir, which is also a very important aspect of the OLQ. That is something which is rudimentary in our branch. And of course, there is information security. There are plethora of options for you to explore. Language. I was blessed to acquire a new language into my kitty. I got the opportunity to learn a new language. So there is a very development ho raha, sir. It is of a very different dimension which is taking up. So I'm always thankful to my core. I'm always thankful to my seniors. They have always been there to guide me in the right direction. And if you talk of challenges, sir, I think so. If that is the fun part, I have always taken it as fun. Yes. That ocha ye karna hai, okay, chalo, let's try it out. Let's do that. So I have always received encouragement from my seniors. And women officer, although by then women officers were not a new thing in our corps, but yes, we were very less in number. Hardly you can count on your fingers kind of strength. But still, there was acceptability, there was adaptability. I don't remember an incident where the gender has ever been a limiting factor.
And so while you were still in service, you must have also got married. So your husband is also in the army?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Same corps or a different corps?
I will rather not mention, okay, sir, because he's still serving.
Absolutely.
So
now you are from I think it must again be one more challenge, one that from a serving officer you came in to become a veteran, plus you also became an army wife, another which is again a very important role for ladies in our organization. So I think after you changed from your OGs into the civil uniform, you also were simultaneously performing two roles. One as an army wife, with your husband supporting him in his work, as well as starting your own thing. So how was that transition for you?
I think so. That's where, sir, the training plays a very crucial role. That phase had its own challenges, sir. Was very rough because 20th March I got released, and 22nd March the lockdown started.
Yeah, I know.
So 1 year, yeah. So almost 9 to 10 months we were stuck at our own places, and in fact I was fortunate that I was with my parents, and my mother suffered COVID. So I was there to help them at that time to deal that situation, because I'm very sure, sir, in my absence it would have been very difficult for them to because it was that crucial time, sir, August, September, when COVID was on its peak. So yes, till then they were little uncertain that did I do the right thing or not. But that experience made them feel that no, our child knows what she has done. Her choices are very clear, and she will make it work. And in fact, my steps towards, I started my baby steps towards my venture in just 2 months of my release. I did not wait. I was like, no, you have a thing in mind, start implementing, start working on it. Over a period of time, it will fine tune. Don't worry. There are people, if they see that your efforts are genuine, they'll support you and they will guide you through that.
Absolutely.
So that actually worked for me, sir. I was very fortunate to have like-minded people to support me in this, and even in the most difficult times, I could overcome this thing. And yes, sir, as far as my role as army wife, I think so. Again, the training, and since you have interacted with troops, So you are in a better position to
Absolutely.
convey to the families the challenges which a soldier faces.
Yes.
And
Yes. That is a
otherwise,
very important thing. Yeah.
yes, sir. Otherwise, families they generally feel that ये तो कुछ करते नहीं है and they are just doing something in the office, which is
Yeah.
not the case.
Absolutely.
Which is not the case. So you are able to tell both the sides to them that see this, it is like this, it is like this, and you need to chalk out how you have to support him. So yes, I think so. The training has been a blessing in all forms, sir. It helped me overcome this entire COVID scenario also.
So, how did you come out with the idea of ink? Tell us about that. Yeah, yeah, it's become a brand now. You know. So, how did you come out with the idea, and how did you put that into practice or into execution?
It started with just forming a fountain pen club, sir. I thought this was something which I always was on my mind. I have been a fountain pen lover since my childhood, but I didn't collect much in my service, sir, because we are always moving and
Yeah,
shifting, and I was like, none
absolutely.
of my pens should be damaged. And the biggest problem is in workplace, people pick your fountain pen as if it
Absolutely.
is a ball pen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is there. That I have also experienced a lot. Yeah,
And that is something very painful to us, as
absolutely.
fountain pen lovers.
Yeah.
So the club came into existence last May, and thereafter the journey had started. I already had interest in graphology,
Okay.
um, thanks to my profession, sir,
Yeah.
my army experience, and I thought let me put it into use.
Yeah.
And during COVID, sir, I conducted two workshops for children.
Okay.
Rather, we did in multiple ways, but two main workshops for children in the beginning, wherein I worked on their handwriting enhancement. By then, I had not taken any formal training in
Oh, okay.
graphology,
Uh-huh.
and the children loved it.
Mm.
And I was amazed that okay, I have the knack. I just have to probably learn the professional aspects of it
Yes. Yeah.
as a counselor or as a person who's guiding people. I should go for that, and I did my certification in this, sir, and I realized that people are having a lot of problems in their lives.
Yeah.
We just don't come to know,
Absolutely.
and all they need is few minutes of listening and somebody to tell them uh, and figure it out that what is it.
Yeah.
So something like, sir, as it is said in mentorship also, that you have to have somebody who's out of the scenario to tell you that what is going on. So in that way, the handwriting analysis helped me a lot to understand people and their problems, and I was amazed to discover the powers of this particular skill. It is so scientific, and that it is not actually prediction, it is actually facts that we are
Yes.
putting across to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not telling them about their future, but you're telling them about what they are and how
Exactly.
they can do minor adjustment to their things, which will help them in overall improvement of their life and their work and everything.
Correct, sir. And that's when I was exposed to this fact also, sir, that writing somewhere has lost its charm. And
Yeah.
I thought, why not I use my skill of analysis to attract people and get them to the habit of writing.
Uh,
And that's how the writing practices, I started working on them. I did my own research, my own studies on how these things can work, how can it help people. And that was I've done few workshops in last few months, and they have been well appreciated and well accepted by people. So that's how the ink was born, sir.
And so in addition to your workshops, you also are giving fountain pens to your uh, what do you call, not exactly giving, rather you have a system wherein you
Facilitating.
can facilitating people to buy good quality fountain pens.
Exactly, sir.
So
Because
how do
make
you do that? Like you do you have a facility? Do you have a tie-up with somebody, or are you have your own manufacturing facility for that?
no, sir. It's purely retail based, and
Okay.
I am collaborating with Indian manufacturers. My emphasis on promoting Indian makes rather than foreign makes,
Okay.
because there are many such small Indian pen making industries that are getting affected by all the flamboyance of the big brands.
Yeah.
And trust me, sir. These big brands, definitely they are very good in quality and the pens are really good, but that if somebody cannot afford that price,
Absolutely.
that is available in more reasonable options, reasonable price, and in a more customized option in our Indian manufacturing industries. And that's why I facilitate it through my merchandise. The ink has its own merchandise, wherein people can come and purchase the pen of their choice. The first pen I helped in retailing is Wazir Fountain Pens. It's a new brand. It was
Okay.
launched in 2019.
Uh-huh.
And they came up with the Patriot version for a special edition for Republic Day.
Okay.
And when it is something like this, sir, how can we forget it
Absolutely.
behind?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I fully agree with you. Okay. So
And I've named another pen of the same brand.
okay.
I have named the pen. So
Okay.
I've endorsed my thoughts on the pen.
Uh-huh.
So yes,
That's
I keep
wonderful.
doing this merchandise to encourage people to get into writing.
So also tell our audience about your another venture, the Majorly Talks. I'm sure our audience would like to know what exactly is that about.
Absolutely, so Majorly Talks, and in fact, it was one of my a very good friend. He's a book critic, and we had plans to start it as a book, as a forum where we'll discuss about books, we discuss about literature. So a lot of ideas were there when initially we had thought of Majorly Talks, and I asked him what should we name it. So I tried few names, and he was like, no, this is not working. It has to your and he used to always say anything. He will say this is majorly incredible,
Oh.
just to add on to that fact, emphasize on me being a major. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, so this goes as
Yeah.
Majorly Talks.
Uh,
The idea of this podcast bloomed somewhere in last October, November, sir.
okay.
But I thought about it, I strategized it in a certain manner. I said that, okay, 12 months, I should have 12 different themes to talk about.
Okay.
And then I thought of what will be the core element, or what will be the focus of this entire effort. And I realized that nobody can be a better motivator than us, sir.
Yeah.
And um, something I personally believe is that we should have a purpose for our lives. So that is the reason it is a self-help podcast, and wherein I bring to our audience the stories of interesting guests, and how and in what did they find a purpose for their lives. So January, the theme was fountain pens. February, the theme was love. But I've tried to bring different dimensions of these topics. And I think so that is where I personally feel that Majorly Talks is much different from other podcasting programs. It's not just some on just mundane self-help talks, but it is more about candid. That is my again my thing, that candid conversations as we are discussing, sir. So
Absolutely.
it should be something
Which
which
should come naturally
the
to you. Yeah.
yes, and too much scripted and too much if we do this, then originality is lost
Absolutely.
of the thing. So, in fact, on Women's Day, the 10th episode of Majorly Talks was
Oh,
aired, sir.
okay.
And this month is for the fempreneurs, the women entrepreneurs, sir. And in fact, the episode is on Mrs. Vani Murthy. She's a sustainable practitioner and an
Oh,
urban farmer from Bangalore.
wow.
So
Okay.
I get connected to such people. I'm fortunate to
Yeah.
connect with people like you, sir, and other inspiring people. And I'm sure Majorly Talks has a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you have a theme for a month, and in a month, is it how a weekly basis, or is it a daily thing?
It's a weekly basis.
Weekly
Every
basis.
Sunday,
Okay.
I host a program so that people have Sunday to listen to. If not on Sunday, then on a Monday morning when they are traveling to their
That
workplace,
time
they
they
are
can
able to
listen to it.
listen to it.
And you have Inc., then you have Majorly Talks, and I'm also aware that you're also, planning to further diversify using other platforms like right now it is podcast. Do you plan to convert it into a podcast or utilize a YouTube platform
Um,
later
I
on,
don't.
maybe not immediately, maybe in the near future?
Yes, sir. Maybe in the near future, but I personally am a podcast lover, sir.
Okay.
So that is the reason I see a lot of future in this domain. It has not been as well explored in India. There are many podcasts. There are many very good podcasts, but still, it has not got the limelight which it should
It
get.
should
But
be.
I'm very sure
People are
it
still
will, sir, because
getting aware and getting into the system right
yes.
now. Yeah.
Yes, so as the awareness will increase, definitely I look forward to sticking on to this for some time. I haven't thought of a video cast as of now. Let's see, let's see how it goes. Because I personally feel that when we are listening, sir, the essence of that conversation hits us more deeply than rather than watching.
That is there.
So that is there.
That is it. And one more thing I also personally realized was that, if you're listening to it, then you can, while you are listening to a podcast, you can continue doing whatever you're doing, whether you're driving or you're working, or. But if it is in a visual
Correct.
mode, then you need to have your total attention to that particular thing. So that also
Yes,
at
yes.
times, has a impact on the, I would say, on the people who, or the audience who's there listening to your things. That is good.
Correct, sir.
So
And in fact, it gives them there was that flexibility. So
absolutely, yeah.
it is ultimately we have to see the interest of our audience, and
So
accordingly we
podcast,
should work
I
out.
think we can, if we compare the podcast is like listening to music. You are,
Yes,
continue doing whatever you're working, whether you're working out, whether you're reading, whether you're working at workplace or exercising or only on a walk or traveling. You can listen to that and you can continue doing. So it must be giving. It also gives you a very very soothing feeling to your mind and your entire body also. And
yes, sir.
so that is
And as you said, soothing.
yeah.
One of my audience, he messaged me on Instagram and he said, "Ma'am, where do you get these background musics for?
Okay.
Background scores from?" I
Uh-huh.
said, "I don't get it from anywhere. I just listen to them on the application. The application has many preset backgrounds." Ma'am, but it looks very different on your platform. I was like, I think so I'm blessed.
Yeah. So that's amazing, Niti. Now, hopefully in the near future, if not in next 6 months, maybe a year, we will be able to overcome this situation of the pandemic, which is right now hitting us, and things would definitely
Yes,
become
sir.
we'll also get used to the new normal, which we are talking about. Like we'll be
Yes.
more digital, and maybe we might go into a hybrid platform where using the digital technology as well as a face-to-face or physical training. So,
Correct, sir.
what are your future plans? If you where do you see yourself? Maybe say 1 year after today.
Oh, 1 year is quite a long time. Long time. So pandemic है कुछ भी हो सकता है. But yes,
You
one
must
year
be
from
having
now
some
at
ideas
least.
in your mind. You must be having some thoughts which you maybe
Yes.
you must be planning to put them into execution, either
Yes,
through
I
your
would like to
podcast. Yeah.
standardize ink more, and definitely see a future in my podcast. Um, I definitely see that coming up in a very different way. And yes, ink. I am looking forward to more workshops, more standardized curriculums and modules, so that um, people are clear that what they can expect from the ink. So
Okay.
that is there in plan. That is there in plan, sir.
So, thank you, Niti. It was an amazing interactive session with you. You gave a lot of different insights to the people about the life in the armed forces, and also when you come out, when you start your own venture, and especially in your case, it was all during the pandemic, so it has more
So,
more of learning value, and also a different kind of experience for you as well as your family, your parents, your husband also. So
so, sir.
before we wind up, what would be your message to our present generation and people like me who also are want to get into the similar field as you are in? What
Um,
would be your message or a mantra would for them?
Um, I would, if somebody wants to explore graphology, my my tip to them will be, sir, that it is a sea, and the more you know, the less you have known actually. So if we have to enter this field, it is important that we go deeper rather than acquiring all the expertise, allied skills related to graphology. Rather than, we can focus on getting deeper into this subject, get a good mentor in this, get a good certification from, not from the perspective of just getting a certification, but somebody who understands the nuances to that level that he or she is utilizing it on day to day
Mm.
basis in their daily lives. So I think so, if you have a coach who has that level of understanding, they will be able to teach with that ease to you, and you will learn much more than uh, what you will. And never refers to these books. The
Absolutely.
books will only confuse you. Videos will only make things worse for you. Books can be an add-on, but trust me, it's been like, sir, now around 9 months that I've done the no, around 6 months I've done the course, and I have not yet touched a book. And my coach said, my mentor said that you will never touch a book. You just see. You won't have the need to
It is
touch a
all,
book.
it will come naturally to you. And the more you
It
practice,
comes
the
naturally.
better you will become at
Yes,
your analysis and
practice
understanding.
is
Practice,
important.
absolutely.
Practice is
And
important, sir.
what about the second part, the digital platform, the podcast, and that for that, what would be your advice to people?
Um, I'll suggest that one should go slow and steady on choosing which platforms they want to create a nation. Uh, be sure of why you are present there. Your presence should have a purpose. Suppose it is an Instagram and you want to be an influencer, but for what? It can't be any random things. The public there, the audience there is very smart. They know what they are wanting there.
Absolutely.
And one should be more than the technical part. I would say that one should look into how to exploit the interface in the most effective manner. That should be focused on. There are very interesting videos on LinkedIn Learning and
Yes. Yeah.
Coursera, and very simple short videos
Absolutely.
of, and they can actually help you to understand these platforms. Again, in the platforms, I'll suggest that instead of going expanse, one should focus on
One.
going deeper and establishing yourself on one. Do it for an year.
And
Once
then
you have done it
expand.
for a year, then expand.
Then absolutely. Yeah. So that's great, Neeti. It was an amazing interaction with you, and I'm
Thank you,
looking
sir.
forward to have many more such interactions with you, sir, and maybe pick up a few nuances, especially related to podcasting, and also because one more thing I realized was that not only the platform but your content is also very important. Yeah.
Correct,
So
sir.
once you have
Correct, sir.
identified what you want to do, why you want to do, and then creating
Yes.
content is one thing which I personally felt is that creating that particular content to engage your audience is also very, very critical. But that is
Yes.
where
And
most
always
of
have
us
a
get wrong.
accountable partner who
Absolutely. That is
can
very
do the
important.
scrutiny for you.
Absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
important, sir.
Yeah. That's there. So thank you, Neeti, and wish you all the very best. Thank you
Thank you,
for
sir.
sharing your time, and it was a engaging and very interesting interaction. And thank
My
you.
pleasure, sir.
And we'll look forward to many more such interactions with you and maybe put across certain for more deeper values and deeper understanding of the thing which you are doing for our audience later on. Thank you very much, and
Sure,
wish you
sir.
all the
Sure,
very
sir.
best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.